Hi, I'm Close Sky, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue. In the last episode, we got our first starter. Sorry, our first Pokemon, not our first starter. Rafflesia, who I forgot, well, I can't heal because, well, I don't have anything to heal with. Rafflesia did not do as well as hoped in his first battle debut, which is a-okay. He's still a young Pokemon. But here, if we talk to this fellow here on Route 1, he'll give us a potion, which is... Did he just moonwalk over to the side there? I'm just gonna ignore it. It's almost a shame to have to use this right now, but considering how grand our adventure has been starting, I'm gonna be just a teensy tiny bit cautious. See those ledges along the road? It's a bit scary, but you can jump from them. You can get back to Pallet Town quicker that way. And, he is, correct. You can jump over these ledges. The only downside, you can't jump back up them, so we can't cheat and use them. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm just gonna ignore battles for right now. I will be covering Pokemon on routes and stats for them as we encounter them later on. This isn't embarrassing at all. Once we have the ability to capture them, I will be covering Pokemon stats and whatnot. Here we are. Trainer tip. Oops. I was hoping that was actually the town sign, the one that says, "Hello, you are here." That's probably this one. Viridian City, the eternally green paradise. It is very green here. We can go to the Pokemart. Pokemon. Well, we passed the Pokemart. This is a Pokemon Center. Welcome to our Pokemon Center. We heal your Pokemon back to perfect health. Shall we heal your Pokemon? Yes, we would like that very much. This is a place where you can get free healing. It costs no money to actually use the services to heal your Pokemon. It's sort of like an inn that way, except you don't pay money. Over here in the corner, we have a PC. We have our own PC, which is for item storage and, yeah, basically item storage. We can put things in, and we can put things in, we can take them out. Or we could just toss them like garbage. This is a pretty good function, a pretty vital function, because our bag only has 20 spots in it, and there are a lot more than 20 items in the game. Someone's PC is Pokemon storage system. If I had more than one Pokemon with me, I could show you this, but we can't deposit our only Pokemon, and we don't have anything in there to withdraw, as far as I know. One difference to note with PCs, when you capture a Pokemon and it happens to be hurt, it's paralyzed, it's poisoned, it's something. In later generations, when you go to the PC to get it out or look at it, it will be completely healed. This is not the case in Generation 1. Be very careful if you go to switch your Pokemon into your party from the PC and heal them, because they will not be automatically healed. What do you have to say, little boy? You want to know about the two kinds of Caterpillar Pokemon? Yep. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch out for its poison sting. At this point in time, a lot of Pokemon don't exist. In fact, there are only 151 Pokemon in this game, not counting glitches, or... yeah, not counting glitches. We're not going to be counting glitches. That being the case, there are only 2 Caterpillar Pokemon, Weedle and Caterpie, as that young gentleman was saying. But let's go in here. Maybe we can get more... Hey, you came from Pallet Town. You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Will you take it to him? Chloe got Oak's parcel. Well, Okay, say hi to Professor Oak for me. It seems we can't buy anything until we take care of Oak's delivery. Why can't that old man go get his own stuff? Oh no, potions are all sold out. And this shop sells many antidotes. Well, that's pretty much useless to me because we have Rafflesia who, like I said before, is immune to poisoning due to being poison type. Going back to Pallet Town is a lot simpler than going away from Pallet Town. It's like they want to keep you there forever and ever. But no, you can use the ledges to smoothly get on back down to town without, well, mostly without running into wild Pokemon. It's a shame I can't catch that. Oh, I should note that I will be catching a lot of Pokemon, but I will not necessarily be using the ones I catch. The ones that will have nicknames I will be using. The ones that are just going to go right to the PC with no naming at all are probably not going to be used. Ever. They're pretty much Pokedex fodder. Speaking of, oh Chloe, how is my old Pokemon? It seems to like you a lot. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What? You have something for me? And we delivered his letter. Ah, this is the custom Pokeball I ordered. Or it's a Pokeball in a box or something, I don't know. It just said a parcel. Thank you. Gramps! Oh, hey, Blue. You little... What did you call me for? Oh, right. I have a request of you two. On the desk there is my invention. Pokedex. The grammar. It burns. Sorry. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Chloe and Blue, take these with you. And we got ourselves a Pokedex. Wonderful thing to have on hand because it will tell us quite a lot. I'll get into that in a moment after we finish with Oak's speech here. To make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream. But I'm too old. I can't do it. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. I'd like to vote Professor Oak as a selfish bastard. Pardon my language. He is too old to fulfill his own dreams, so he's going to make two 10-year-old kids do it for him. Professor of the Year, everybody! Alright, Gramps, leave it all to me. Chloe, I hate to say it, but I don't need you. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one, Chloe. Ha ha ha! And off he struts. Well, I hate to burst his bubble, but I think the town map is the most useless item ever. You know why? Oop. Well, that wasn't a very good usage of showing it, but the really only thing you'd ever need to use the town map for is pretty much looking at your location and looking at where you're going. And there are lots of little ways you can do that. You can look in the Pokedex. You can look at these. It's a town map just hanging on the wall. You don't need one at all. So, pressing up and down on the arrow keys will show the path you're supposed to take, or a fairly linear representation of it. Holding it down will just make it go spazzy like that. So you really don't need the town map, in my opinion. You also see the map display when you choose to fly with a Pokemon. We do not have a Pokemon that is able to use fly right now. We don't have the ability to fly at all right now. The only thing that Professor Oak did not include with his Pokedex, Pokeballs. We can't catch any Pokemon yet. I'm just gonna quickly scuttle on back to Viridian City. Viridian City is a pretty big place in comparison to Pallet Town. There are a lot more people, for one. For two, it's like twice its size. And that's fitting, considering that Pallet Town is a town, and, well, it's not really quite, it's not all that much of a town either. It's more like a hamlet, a little itty-bitty village. I mean, there are two houses and a lab. Not the best town in the world. I mean, there aren't even any, like, restaurants or anything. Okay. Now that we've delivered Oak's parcel, we can go into the Pokemart, and we can buy something. Pokeballs are pretty important. Antidotes will cure poisoning. Paralyzed heals will cure paralysis. Burn heals will cure burns. These two are pretty much useless right now. So is this, because immunity to poison. We should pick up some Pokeballs. Like the kid over in the corner said, there aren't any potions, so that fellow that gave us the free sample kind of lied. We're gonna get 10 Pokeballs. Decent amount. Let's see. This house has a little girl in it. Phew, I'm trying to memorize all my notes. If you take a look over here, these are the Pokemon status ailments that exist, not counting confusion, sleeping, burning, freezing, poisoning, paralysis. Sleeping will make it so that you can't pretty much move your sitting duck. Burning will hurt you every turn and cut your attack, I believe. Freezing is sort of like sleep, except you can instantly be healed with if you get attacked by a fire-type move. Poisoning will cut your attack and hurt you. It also lingers after battle. All of these do. They are not healed after the battle. Paralysis will cut your speed down to its lowest, and you will sometimes lock up and not be able to move. Confusion, which isn't listed there, will make it very hard for your Pokemon to hit its opponent instead of itself. There isn't anything over here, nor over there. Oh, hello. Who are you? Those Pokeballs at your waist. You have Pokemon! It's great that you can carry and use Pokemon anytime, anywhere. I agree with you, young man. I agree wholeheartedly. Shame that we only have one. Not that I'm saying that Rayquaza is a terrible Pokemon or anything like that, it's just that first battle went so terribly. My daddy loves Pokemon too. Speary. Coming up with nicknames is fun, but hard. Simple names are the easiest to remember. Spearow. Name? Speary. So this... Like I said, town map's useless. You can just look on the wall. Any of these particular picture frames that look like a little mountain with a sun, that's a town map, as far as I know. This family has named their pet Spearow Speary. That is a very terrible name in my opinion. When I go shop in Peter City, I have to take the winding trail in Viridian Forest. That's a pretty unique place that we'll be headed to in a little bit. This Pokemon gym is always closed. I wonder who the leader is. Viridian City Pokemon Gym. Normally, underneath that, there would be the gym leader's name and their title, I suppose? The gym doors are locked. We can't go there, which is just as well because we would probably get our butt kicked in because we only have one Pokemon. Let's change that. Let's catch us a Pokemon. Going back to Route 1, we have two options of Pokemon to catch, and I've shown them, well, not shown them. We've seen them both already. Come on. Oh, come on, now that I want you to appear, you're not going to appear. First off is Rattata. Rattata is very fast. Very, very fast. It hits hard, too. It's very much like Charmander, except it's a lot faster. As it evolves, it retains that speed. I'm going to be picky here, and I'm just going to beat the crud out of it. Level 2 Pokemon, they're very hard to raise at this particular point. At least in my opinion. So Rattata, they're not that great on the special stat. It's not their strongest suit, nor is health. They have low health. There are better options in normal types. And here's the second one, Pidgey. Pidgey is a well-rounded Pokemon, stats-wise. It has very high speed, not as high as Rattata's, or it's faster than Bulbasaur, I'll say that much. If they were the same level, this Pidgey would definitely be outspeeding me, but because we're a little bit more experienced, we're kicking its butt. Pidgey's other stats are pretty well-rounded. Its weakest point is actually special. Oh, we leveled up. When you level up, you can your stats will be taken up a little bit to reflect the growth that you obtained. You can also sometimes learn a new move. And if your Pokemon evolves through leveling up, it can evolve too after it's leveled up and you win the battle. If you don't win the battle after leveling up and your Pokemon is about to evolve, you have to do it again. Yeah, that doesn't carry over. I know there are better Rattatas out there, but let's go with this. We're not going to be using Rattata on our team. It's not a Pokemon I personally like. Its evolved form kind of creeps me out, to be honest. Raticates scare me. Anyway, we caught its name also gives me a little bit of trouble. We caught the mouse. When we catch a new Pokemon, Pokedex data is automatically added, just like Oak said. Rat Pokemon bites anything when it attacks, small and very quick. It's a common sight in many places. We're not going to give a nickname to Rattata. We're just Pokedex fobbers. I bet you might be wondering, why am I catching Pokemon if I'm not going to use them? I have my reasons. One of those reasons is, when you get a certain amount of Pokemon, you can get sort of items or vital items from Oak's aids around the region, but you need a certain amount of Pokemon to obtain these items that are so very important, and you can't get them unless you have a certain number of Pokemon. This little Pidgey seems to have a lot of spunk. We're gonna catch it too, and then we can move on from Route 1 and never ever come back. Okay, maybe not never ever, but still. Pidgey was caught. New Pokedex data will be added for Pidgey. Pidgey, the tiny bird Pokemon, a common sight in forests and woods, flaps its wings at ground level to kick up blinding sand. We're not going to give anything to Pidgey. Nothing against Pidgey. It's a good Pokemon for starting off if you want a flying type. There are ups and downs to using Pidgeys. One of which is at the very, well, it's a little too much like Rafflesia stats-wise. Speaking of, let's take a look at our new friends. Even though we're not using them, I always make it a point to just take a look at the stats. Good attack, even in defense and special, and its skill lies in speed. Only knows tackle and tail whip and needs 37 points to level up to level 4. Pidgey, dead even on attack and speed and defense and special, and only knows Gust. Like I said, Gust is just a normal type move. It's nothing to write home about. It's basically a bird version of tackle. We're gonna pop these suckers in the PC. And well, what else is there around here? There is another place we can go and catch Pokemon. After I take a quick detour. You might think I'm being nuts, but this little tree here has a potion inside, which is great considering that the store isn't selling any right now. Over here is Route 22. And there's not much if we go down this way. In fact, there's nothing if we go this way. But I'm going this way to show that I can't just skip that little bit of grass there. However, there are different Pokemon that live on this particular route than there are on Route 1. Case in point, Nidoran female. Nidoran male and Nidoran female both exhibit signs of something called sexual dimorphism, which is basically the males look different than the females. And this is also reflected in their stats. Nidorans have high HP. Well, Nidoran females do. They have decent defenses, and they have higher special stats than either Rattata or Pidgey. On average, at least. We're gonna catch this little beauty because, well, she's cute. Nidoran female is caught. We're not gonna name this little girl, but, Poison Pin Pokemon. Although small, its venomous barbs render this Pokemon dangerous. The female has smaller horns. The only difference between male and female, apart from their stats, looks-wise, is, well, if we can find a male, I'll show you. The sexual dimorphism part comes in when you realize that male Nidorans and female Nidorans evolve into different Pokemon. Rattatas will also appear on this little itty-bitty routlet of stuff. Yeah, they appear here too. Another Nidoran. Oh, Nidorans are also poison types, I forgot to mention. Both Nidorans, not just the females. Which means they also can't be poisoned. Small world. Why am I getting nothing but Nidorans? You're gonna have to pardon me a little bit. I'm searching for the other Pokemon that live on this route. Ah, here we go. Spearow. Spearow is a normal flying type. It's got good attack, really high speed, almost as high as Rattata's, a lot higher attack than Pidgey's, making it the bird Pokemon of choice for right now. Which means we are indeed going to be catching this Spearow for our team at this point in the game. Peck is in fact a flying type technique, so it will hurt. Spearow, the tiny bird Pokemon, eats bugs in grassy areas. It has to flap its short wings at high speed to stay airborne. We are in fact going to be giving a nickname to this little feller. Spearows are based on sparrows, and there's not much else to say about that. We are not going to be naming this bird Spearow. No, instead we are going to be calling it something. I don't know. Ah, here we go. We're gonna name him Fletch. Fletch feathers are the little feathers on the ends of arrows that are used in archery that help to keep an arrow straight on its path. And Spearow is a very swift little Pokemon, as you can actually see from its attack and speed. They're a lot higher than you would expect from a little itty-bitty bird. I know there's 2 more Pokemon that live here on this route that we haven't already seen, and oh, for the love of... We're not gonna find them, are we? For the love of... If I don't find them within the next few minutes, we'll cover them later. How's that? Getting close on time. for the love of all that is good, why can't I find the other two Pokemon? Come on. I would speed it up if it didn't look really, well, if it didn't. I am playing an emulated version of this game. I don't know anybody who still has a working Game Boy Color or a working cartridge for this game. So it's just a little easier too with an emulated version. Okay, please, 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 for the love of... The other two Pokemon that live on this route are Mankey and Nidoran male. Nidoran males are harder to find in Blue than they are in Pokemon Red, but you can still find... Oh wait, no. I think I got that backwards. You can't find Nidoran male in Pokemon Blue. Okay, so there was only one other Pokemon that was living there, and it was Mankey. Mankeys are very high attack Pokemon, very high speed, don't have the best defenses, and they don't have the best special, unfortunately. Well, now that we have Fletch in our party, what say we call this an episode, and I'll see you all, well, we'll see you all in the next, we'll see you here again in Viridian City. There's other things to do around these parts. I might do leveling on or off screen, it all depends on how you guys want that to be handled. If you want me to show my training on screen, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you want me to not, then also leave a comment in the comment section below. Along with a question, what starters do you guys pick? Do you pick Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur? And in hand with that, what Pokemon do you usually catch at the beginning of the game? Well, just leave a comment in the comment section, tell me just that. Next time on Let's Play Pokemon Blue, we're going to be headed off to Viridian Forest and see if we can't find something special there. See you then!